Welcome to another episode of the Movie Brothers. I'm Ant. This is Kev. Thank you guys for joining us once again for a very, very special Christmas episode. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you and yours.
Happy Kwanzaa. Enjoy your Noel.
Okay. Anything else?
Just Merry Christmas, folks.
Okay. All right. Hey, Kev, you know from time to time, man, I have to get on my little soapbox and do a little ranting and a little bit of raving.
From time to time.
Today is no different.
Why would it be?
Okay. Santa Claus. Parents.
Hold on. You're not about to go in on Santa Claus now, are you?
I'm going in on old Saint Nick. Okay. Parents. We bust our butt all year. We work hard every day. We buy all of these presents and gifts for our kids, and then we give the credit away to some dude that don't even exist. Why?
Because kids need fantasy in their lives. They need creativity in their lives. To believe in Saint Nick actually helps you and I keep our kids in line throughout the course of the year. Okay? They know they can always come to you and appeal to the good-natured side of you, okay, begging you for toys and gifts, all right? But, you know, they only got one shot to please Santa Claus. So they're more likely to stay in line.
My kid needs a fantasy of having a job and working hard so she can acquire these things for herself.
Okay, for my kids, that won't be a fantasy. That's out and out reality. Okay,
well, you know what I'm saying. So don't pretend like you don't. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
So
Santa Claus is real. Santa Claus is real.
So Santa Claus is real for Kev, y'all, but he ain't real for me. But we digress. The show ain't even about. Let's keep it moving, okay?
Santa Claus hater.
I am a Santa Claus hater. I'll claim that every day. We are reviewing the film. If you ain't guessed it, look at our shirts, right? We are covering Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Wow, much anticipated film. We've been waiting on this for how long, Kev? How long has it been in the works?
About 3 years.
About 3 years. The film has a runtime of 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is an action adventure. The director, J.J. Abrams, takes us back to that galaxy far, far away to bring us the latest installment of the Star Wars saga by introducing us to new characters, bringing back some of the older characters, and taking us on an all-new adventure.
This movie was directed by J.J. Abrams, the ultra-talented J.J. Abrams. It stars Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Adam Driver, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Lupita Nyong'o makes an appearance as well, or at least her voice does. You ready to jump into it?
Hey, man, take it away, man.
All right. 1977 was a special time in my life as I was introduced to George Lucas's magnum opus, Star Wars. Okay, it informed everything about my childhood, growing up. You know, the difference between what was right, what was wrong. Yoda's education was vital to me. Do or do not, there is no try. I mean, all of these things were important to me as a young shorty growing up. And through Lucas's constant tinkering with his original movies, which were perfect in my eyes, his constant tinkering and with the introduction to us of the prequel trilogy, which came out a few years ago, I was starting to kind of question my love for the Force. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I had fallen asleep to the Force. So the title of this movie is very appropriate for me because J.J. Abrams has kind of awakened that in me again.
No, I feel you on that, Kev. I mean, hey guys, wow, what an experience all the way around. You know, it's not often that Kev and I get to go to see a film together, but actually he and I did go to the Alamo Drafthouse. This is a Texas kind of a studio movie grill type of a theater. First time getting a chance to experience that, see a film at Alamo Drafthouse, and I gotta say it was pretty dope.
Oh, it was awesome.
All the way around, just the whole experience that they give you. They don't take themselves too seriously. We don't do shout-outs on the show, but if we did, it would go to Kev's homeboy Brandon for hooking us up with the tickets. We did a midnight a screening of the film, had a really good time. Now, I do have a little beef with Kev, because, y'all, I got to tell y'all, Kev is a hardcore Star Wars fan. Okay, I am not. Kev goes way back. He's like been founders of fan clubs and all that stuff. Well, we get into the theater and in the lobby and stuff. Kev hooks up with his Star Wars crew. He don't know nobody no more, y'all. I mean, I'm serious. He was like, I'm trying to do little photos and stuff for Instagram. I'm like, Kev, how you spell Lando's name? He like, Lando, Lando. I'm like, really, Kev?
How hard was that though?
Kev, I don't look up Lando's name too often. I
Okay,
just wanted to
okay.
check and make sure it was spelled.
Lando.
I just make sure it was spelled
Phonetically.
correctly. But hey, y'all, listen, the film was good. Let's talk about why.
Okay. First off, you want to start off with the script.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Let's start off with the script. The students of Star Wars are familiar with Joseph Campbell and who Joseph Campbell was and the impact that he had on George Lucas's life as a filmmaker. Through Joseph Campbell, we get the monomyth or the hero's journey, the story that all heroic storytelling is based around, where the hero goes through certain phases every step of the way from beginning to end. In this movie, we have that in full force. Daisy Ridley, who I think is the star of this film. Okay, Daisy Ridley's character Rey goes through all these different steps to take her on a journey that's ultimately going to, we hope, lead to some type of redemption or victory on her part. Not only Daisy Ridley, but John Boyega goes through something similar. Adam Driver, his character, even though he's a villain, has a particular arc that he's going through, and all these things play out perfectly for me. There are those who are going to complain that Episode 7 follows many of the same narrative beats as Episode 4, A New Hope, and that they are just basically kind of experiencing the same thing over and over again. But that didn't really bother me that much because I felt like, for starters, if you don't learn from the mistakes of the past, you're destined to repeat them. I think that may be something that is being introduced to us or being kind of told to us through this film. And I feel like it just did. None of that really distracted away from my enjoyment of it, or what I think will be your enjoyment of it as well. It doesn't rob it of its narrative power. Abrams is dealing with myth, which is meant to be passed down from generation to generation, and this is Disney basically taking the reins and saying, "Hey, we're starting this over our way, the way we want to do it." And so, for it, in a large way, they are basically taking Episode 4 and revamping it for a generation of kids who have never seen Star Wars in a movie theater before. This is for them. It's good. It's good for all of us old heads who love it, but at the same time, this is for the new ones.
Yeah, I agree with that. Feels familiar. Not a bad thing. I think especially after Episodes 1 through 3 and the hot mess that was, you almost needed a reboot.
Right.
You needed a reboot, but the story is solid. All good there. No complaints from me on that front.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like I said, there's a generation who's never seen these movies in a theater before. This is good for them. This will be good for Disney. What'd you think about the visuals of the film, man?
Oh man, the visuals were dope. Off the chain.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, J.J. Abrams, for the practical effects. They're beautifully blended with the CGI. And I mean, the cool thing with this film is that these scenes are shot on location. It's not some big old blue screen or green screen set or whatever. It's on location, so you really get the performance out of the actors to where, because they can actually see, feel, and touch their environment, goes off very well.
Much of this film takes place on Jakku, which is the desert planet in this movie, and you feel the sand, you feel the grit, because it's real, okay? And that's what you really appreciate. It's actually transporting you there and not just taking you to some actors trying to act in front of a green or blue screen, and they're not even connected with what they're doing, as Natalie Portman, okay? They're not connected with what they're doing, and so how can we get connected or invested in them? So, I really like that part. To that end, I was thoroughly impressed with the acting in this film. I think that everybody in this film as an actor really stepped up and brought their A game. From Daisy Ridley, who I feel like is a breakout star. John Boyega, he was really good in what he did. Adam Driver's Kylo Ren brings us a very fractured and tortured villain. Okay, this is not Darth Vader that we're talking about. This is not Darth Maul. This is not any villain that we've ever seen in a Star Wars film. This guy is kind of broken. Okay, he's kind of broken, and when you watch him go on his little fits and temper tantrums, those are some of the most enjoyable parts of the movie. But I thought the acting was on point.
Yeah, no doubt. No complaints there from me on that front. Very solid cast across the board. Kev, real on the real. John Boyega's character, Finn, rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, point at me all you want to. I don't care. I did not like him. Not saying I did not like Boyega. He did a phenomenal job portraying the character Finn. I'm just saying I did not like this character Finn. In particular, seeing this black guy who has a significant role in the film, and he's extremely weak. He's a coward. And we've talked about this multiple times on different films and things like that, to where, we don't see as many African Americans in film on the big screen as much as we would like to. And what happens is, and I'm talking about myself, what happens is it's like I want everything. I want the world in that character. Yeah, I want the world in that character because I'm only going to see it like that.
Right.
And so I want it. And that just really rubbed me the wrong way. I did not care for that at all. And that's just one of my gripes about the film.
I like Adam Boyega's performance as the character of Finn. I think a lot of the humor in this film comes from him. I think that
he's funny.
I think Finn is a character that is primed to grow, probably more so than any other character in this film. And I think that's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't think the character Finn was written specifically for an African American or a black actor. It just so happens that they cast who they feel like was the best person for the job.
Because at the end of the day, we seeing a brother playing Finn.
Yeah.
Now,
and at the end of the day,
that's what we get. So I gotta judge it on what I get, what you give me.
It's kind of hard to judge Finn off of one film in what will ultimately be a trilogy. Okay. Because his growth has not gone or really completed itself yet.
Okay.
Once we see where the character goes, then jump on.
All right, Professor.
Okay?
So you're telling me to be patient?
Be patient. Just be a little bit patient. I think John Boyega did an excellent job.
He did.
I think Finn is a very interesting character. We've never seen a character like Finn before in a Star Wars film.
Okay.
And I think that given some time, his character will come into his own.
Okay. You want to throw some points on this thing?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it. Hey, I'll be quick with it. Overall, it's a good film. I enjoyed it. It is entertaining. I give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
All right. I would give this film an 8 out of 10, and here's why. I thought that all of the acting was great. The visuals were top-notch. There were things that I kind of quibbled with a little bit regarding the script and the story. Yes, I can understand why some would compare it to Episode 4 and maybe be a little rankled by the fact that it is so close in concept and in narrative to that film, but this had to start off somewhere, and like you said, we had to have something to rinse the bad taste of the prequels out of our mouth.
I like that, rinse the bad taste out.
And so
that's good.
That's exactly what we get here. I think that Daisy Ridley's character Rey is a perfect addition to the Disney pantheon of heroines. Snow White, Cinderella, Mulan, so on and so forth. I could go on and on. Okay, I think that Daisy Ridley is and her character Rey is a perfect addition to that. And because Disney had to make it their own, and they're going to. But I think she did a great job. This movie is a lot of fun. There's a scene in the trailer where Kylo Ren, the bad guy played by Adam Driver, speaks to the helmet of Darth Vader and says, "I will finish what you started." In my mind, I could see that as being J.J. Abrams speaking to George Lucas. "I will finish what you started." And I think that he's off to a pretty rousing start. Once again, I give this movie an 8 out of 10.
Okay. All right, y'all. That's our show. But we're not done yet, because it wouldn't be a Christmas episode without presents, right? Presents. Aunt loves presents. Do you, Kev?
Kev loves presents too, but Aunt, you shouldn't have.
No, I should have.
You're right. You should have.
Dealing with your ass all year. Hey,
Oh, man.
hey, you know what? I rib Kev, and doing this show, y'all, it is doggone near like a marriage. The time that we put in. I hope you guys see that it comes across the effort that all that to say we spend a lot of time together, and we fight, we make up, we hug it out. We beef and all that kind of stuff, but it's part of the territory. I wouldn't have it any other way,
Right.
because we got to do it right. We got to do it right. But hey, Kev, this is for you, man. I love you, bruh. Merry Christmas to you. Go ahead and open this up, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you so much. All right, let me dig in here and grab it. I'm gonna hand that back
Okay,
to
yeah,
you.
I'll take that. I'll take that out your way.
All right.
Come on.
Trying to keep myself from just ripping through it.
Oh, just bust it open, man.
Just bust it open. Bust it.
Pause.
Ah.
You gotta show them what you got here, man.
Star Wars, the Ultimate Action Figure Collection. And the thing is, what's funny, guys, is that I can look at this, and I've owned, and still do own, every single character
Oh, man.
on this, every
Really?
single figure on this cover. So that is outstanding. Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
I really
sir.
appreciate that.
And please enjoy that, man.
I will. You have no idea. I'm gonna set this
Now,
down.
now,
for a second.
where's my stuff, man?
Where's your stuff? All right. I gave you something that is very personal to me.
Okay.
You know how I feel about Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to give you something from my own private collection. All right. This comes off of the wall of my theater room.
Oh.
All right. This is
Wow.
a listing of all of the one sheets, the posters for all the various Star Wars movies, or the original movies anyway. It doesn't have prequels on there, and nor should it. But
Here,
it
let
says
me
everything.
take this. It's so big, y'all. We can't even get the whole thing in the shot, but I wish you guys could see the whole. What I'll probably do is an Instagram or something of the entire poster so you guys can see this. But
it
this
even
is,
has
this
a
is dope.
poster. It even has
This
a
is dope,
poster
y'all.
for back when Return of the Jedi was originally entitled Revenge of the Jedi, and so Lucasfilm and 20th Century Fox went on this whole marketing campaign behind Revenge of the Jedi, and they decided that they can't name it that,
Yeah.
because Jedis don't take revenge. They don't
Yeah.
do what they do
Oh.
based off of emotion, such as revenge. So that's when they changed the title to Return of the Jedi.
Thank
Just
you,
a little bit of
thank you,
background.
Professor.
You
Appreciate that.
I do what I do.
Hey, man, no, thank you for the gift, man. That's awesome. Now that is going in my media room. Hey, again, man, we wish y'all just the very best. Thank you for sticking with us through the year. We're just steadily growing,
Yeah.
growing. We appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Man, call that person you haven't talked to, but you've been
Right.
thinking about. They love to hear from you.
And it ain't necessarily about a gift. They
No.
just need to hear your voice.
They just
sometimes.
need to hear your voice. Y'all need to follow us on Instagram.
Or you can continue to follow us on Twitter at The Movie Brothers.
Yep, and we have a Facebook group called The Movie Brothers, Bruthas. You're welcome to join the group on January 15th. If you live in Dallas, if you're lucky enough to live in Dallas or in the surrounding area, on January 15th, that's a Friday, we're going to go to Look Cinema in Dallas, Texas, and we're going to see Ride Along 2. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk about What Else Film. We would love to meet you face to face and hang out for a little bit, but that is the show.
Well, and not only that, let me give a shout out to our boy Rob over at the Clubhouse podcast.
Yep.
We'll be on that show on Sunday, tomorrow. So check us out. Check us out on the Clubhouse. Those guys do excellent work. Clubhouse podcast. So check us out and see what we got to say.
Awesome. Hey, I know we went a little bit long today, but hey, it's the Christmas episode. You can't rush Christmas.
Gotta get in the Christmas
Okay,
spirit.
right, exactly. Hey, that's our show. I'm Ant. This is Kev. We are the Movie Brothers. This is the place, the one and only place where we bring you nothing but the real on the real. Peace.